Hi, I'm Chloe Rosen, and today we're making a brownie pie with a sugar spun nest with raspberries and pastry cream. So first we're going to make our brownie batter, and to do this, you're going to first take 2 cups of sugar, just normal granulated sugar, and put this in a stand mixer. And to this you add 4 extra large eggs, and you want your ingredients to be at room temperature because it's just everything's at the same temperature, so there's no problems incorporating everything. So you might want to let it sit out for a few minutes before you start baking. So we're going to mix this at medium-high heat for about 5 minutes. And while we do that, we're going to come over here and we're going to be sifting the flour and the cocoa powder to make sure that there aren't any lumps, and also to put a little bit more air in there. And we're using all-purpose flour, and we're using half a cup of that. And we're using 3/4 cup of cocoa powder. And you want to use really good cocoa powder. We're using Valrhona because it's just, your brownies are only as good as the cocoa powder that you're going to use. So just put that in there. Okay, so you're going to sift this. And I'm using an old-fashioned sifter and you just turn the wheel. Okay, so now we're using a vanilla bean, which although it seems a little bit exotic, it's pretty easy to find in your grocery stores. And so what you do with these is you take a little paring knife and you're just going to slice it down the middle. And then you can do this with just a butter knife. You take it and you put it parallel, and you just press down and you just kind of try to scrape out the seeds. And it's pretty easy. It just takes a few tries to get it right. But you should get the seeds just like that. And this is actually what they make vanilla extract from. Alright, so our eggs and our sugar are perfect. They're light yellow and very thick. And so now what we're going to do is add first our vanilla bean that we took the seeds out of, and we're going to add that in. And we're also going to add this flour and cocoa powder mixture that we sifted. And if you do this just on a piece of parchment paper, it makes it really easy because it just makes no mess, and you can easily add it to your mixture. So you're just going to add it a little bit at a time. And because if you add it all at one time, it's just going to fly up and get all over the kitchen. So just add it a little bit. So you just want to do it until just incorporated. And now we're going to add a half a pound, which is 2 sticks of melted butter. And so just add that right in. And on low speed, you just want to mix that until it's combined. Okay, that looks perfect. Now you can see the batter is beautiful and dark chocolate. And dark brown. So this is our batter. So now that our batter is done, what we're going to do is we're going to cook this in something called a water bath. So basically you want to take your dish and you put it inside of a larger dish, and you put that on a baking sheet. And we're going to take a glass of as hot as possible top water, so pretty hot water, and you're going to pour as much in as comes up to about halfway up the side, which that looks about good. And because so you want it to gently very cook it, and the steam will slowly cook it and make it very soft in the middle. So we're going to take our batter and just add this to it, and it has been greased a little bit with butter so that it won't stick. And we're going to pour all of our batter in. Alright, so you're just going to spread this out just like this. And okay, so this is done. So now we're going to go put it in a 325 degree preheated oven. Okay, so for the next step, we're going to make our sugar nest to go with the brownie pie. So first you're going to start in a medium saucepan. You're going to take 4 cups of just plain granulated sugar, and to that you're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of lemon juice. And you're just going to mix this together with a whisk, and it should resemble like wet sand. It should just dampen the sugar. So we're going to do something called caramelizing the sugar and the lemon juice together. And if you've never done this before, it seems a little bit daunting, but it's not really that hard. You just need to really make sure that you know what you're doing and know how long you're going to be doing this. Okay, so we've been cooking the sugar for about 2 minutes, and you can't really see it, but the sugar kind of just starts to resist as it just starts to right at the beginning of liquefying. So we're almost there. We're getting there, but it's coming right along. Yeah, we're right at the point of liquefying. You want to grab your oven mitt because it gets really hot right now. But if you can see, just it kind of gets a little bit clumpy, but it's okay. It's just starting to become melting a little. It's very interesting, and losing that grainy kind of substance feel. Okay, so now you can just see we're just reaching that liquefying stage, and it still has that kind of grainy sugar kind of texture, but it's just starting to become more of a liquid. So you can kind of see it's a little bit grainy, but it's kind of very interesting that it, like sugar and lemon juice can become so different in texture. So right now I'm just going to drizzle a little bit. You can see it's kind of a very light hue of like a caramel color, and it's just starting to kind of come together a little bit. But you want to go for maybe like a minute or two after you think you should stop, because the texture, there's this point where it's really kind of thick and it doesn't drizzle very well, and then there's just that point where it becomes much thinner and it's like perfect for drizzling. So you need to really try to catch that point when you're making the sugar nests. So it helps to just kind of stand over the stove and keep stirring until you reach that desired consistency and color. What we're going to do is we're going to turn off the flame and just let it sit actually for about a minute. And while that sits, we're just going to come over here and grease these little molds that we're going to be using. And this is like vital, because they will not come out unless you grease them. So we're just using a little bit of canola oil, and you can just dip that on a paper towel and just pick it up and just kind of get around the inside and a little bit around the edges and the outside, because sometimes it sticks there too. And you want to be really careful about which mold you're using, because if you're using, sometimes both the weather and the material of the mold that you're using can affect the way the sugar hardens, and it could crack. So right now what you're going to do is you want to move this a little bit over, just so that you're not going too far. And you're going to take a pretty large spoon and just kind of coat it, and then you just kind of drizzle it back and forth. And it seems a little bit hard, but it's really, the beauty of this is it's just anyone can do it. It's kind of foolproof, because it's just, as long as you have the sugar at the right consistency, whatever you do will look really pretty. So just try to drizzle it across and in a circular motion to make sure that that you have enough sugar on there that it won't crack. And that looks just about done. You just want to make sure that there's enough on the inside that it will be perfectly coated. And it takes about maybe 5 minutes to cool, and then we're going to take them out. So that is our sugar nests. Okay, so now we're ready to assemble our brownie pie. So first we're going to take out our sugar nests from the molds. So what you do with a knife is you just kind of tap around to get all the sugar off, and then you could just put your hand in, clean hand, and it will just kind of glide out because of that, that we greased it, and put that right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, what I made is a really quick raspberry sauce, what you can do by taking some raspberry jam and putting it in a little saucepan with some fresh raspberries and kind of cooking that together on low heat and a little lemon juice, and then you can strain it and you'll get this beautiful raspberry sauce. So we're just kind of going to do a little bit of drizzle of that on the plate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our pastry cream, our homemade pastry cream, and you can use a pastry bag, but I think you can just do it in a plastic bag, and I just like putting it in this glass here, and you can just easily make your own by cutting the edge of it, just like this, and you can just cut a little edge and do just a little pastry cream. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our beautiful sugar nest, and we're going to put that right like that, right onto the pastry cream. We're going to take a nice scoop out of our brownie pie, and put that right like that. And to garnish, we're going to take, in our sugar nest, we're going to take some delicious fresh raspberries. And you can really use any berry that's in season, but right now it's raspberries, and they're just delicious. They're one of my favorite fruits. So you can just fill it up with raspberries. And what I like to do is just these beautiful, sometimes when you're coming back and forth, you just get these beautiful sugar shards, and I like to just kind of put a little bit of a garnish right like that. And this is our brownie pie with a sugar nest and raspberries.